All right, this video is going to cover the solutions for quiz 3 from unit 3. I also will just apologize. I've ordered a stylus, so I know that it's a little messy, the handwriting with my finger. Okay, so number 1 asks for you to add f of x and g of x together. So I've written that out. The first is f of x, which is here. The second is g of x, which is here. I just put it on 2 lines because I couldn't fit it all. So then what we're looking for is to just add like terms together. So what we want to do is just identify what the like terms are. So I'm going to start with x to the 6th. So I have 3x to the 6th and negative 2x to the 6th. So that's going to give me 1x to the 6th, or just x to the 6th. Next, I'm looking for the next highest exponent, which is x to the 5th. So I've got 15x to the 5th and 13x to the 5th. So that's going to give me a total of 28x to the 5th. And then I'm going to go to my next highest variable. So I don't have any x to the 3rd, or I'm sorry, x to the 4th, x to the 3rd. I do have some x squared. So I've got a negative 1x squared and I have a negative 7x squared. So that's going to add to negative 8x squared. And then my next highest exponent is just a 1. So I've got this negative 5x squared here. It doesn't have any friends, so I'm just going to add it down here. And then lastly, my constants, or my terms that don't have any variables attached to them. So I've got a negative 2 and a positive 3. So negative 2 plus 3 gives me a positive 1. So that's my answer for number 1. Number 2 is actually, here it is. Same thing, but we're going to subtract this time. So I've written them out just like I did before. So f of x is here, g of x is here. So the big thing that we need to remember here is to distribute this negative sign. So as I do that, I'm going to just rewrite all of these terms with this switched negative sign. So if I distribute it to each term, I'll get a 7x squared, a negative 3, a positive 2x to the 6th, and a negative 13x to the 5th. So I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did before. I'm going to find my x to the 6th term. So I've got 3x to the 6th and 2x to the 6th. So that's going to give me 5x to the 6th. Next, I have my x to the 5th. So I have 15x to the 5th minus 13x to the 5th. So that's going to give me a positive 2x to the 5th this time because I'm subtracting that 13. And then next I'm going to go to x squared. So same thing before, we don't have any x to the 4ths or x to the 3rds. So I'm going to go x squares. So negative 1x squared and positive 7x squared gives me a positive 6x squared. My negative 5x, again, doesn't have any other like terms, so I'm just going to bring it down. And then I've got negative 2 and negative 3, which adds to negative 5. So that's the answer for number 2. So this next one, when we're actually starting to multiply, we've got f of x, which is 2x minus 7, so that's here. And then we've got g of x, which I plugged in up here. So that's why I have a 2 by 3 box, because I'm multiplying a binomial by a trinomial. So I'm just going to do this in another color so that you can see it a little bit better. And actually, I don't know if, oh yeah, I'll do it in blue. So 2x times 5x cubed is 10x to the 4th. This is going to be negative 35x cubed. And you might want to just look, a lot of mistakes were made on this one because of negative signs. So make sure that the negatives on your paper match mine. Negative 16x squared. And we've got positive 56x, negative 2x, and a positive 7. So then I'm just going to add like terms. So I've got a 10x to the 4th. These are actually not like terms here. We've got an x to the 3rd and an x squared, so I can't add those together. So I'm going to put them separately on my paper. So negative 35x cubed minus 16x squared. These are like terms, so I'm going to add them together and get 54x and then a positive 7. So that's your answer. And I just kind of want to emphasize, these are not like terms up here, because we're skipping an x squared term. So we go from x to the 3rd to just x. So we're missing that x squared term. If that was the case, then our diagonals would all be like terms, but in this case, they're not. So we'll move on to the number 2, which is actually the second to the last one, is f of x cubed. So that means I'm taking 2x minus 3 and I'm cubing it. So that means I'm multiplying 2x minus 7 times 2x minus 7 times 2x minus 7. So I'm going to start by just multiplying 2x minus 7 times 2x minus 7. So that's happening here, 2x minus 7 times 2x minus 7. So that gives me 4x squared minus 14x minus 14x and 49. So two big mistakes I saw here. One is that people tended to think that these canceled out, but we actually have two negatives. So that those are actually going to add together. They're not going to cancel out. So our answer down here is 4x squared minus 28x plus 49. The other big mistake that I saw here is that people thought that this was the answer. So that would be the answer if I was just squaring it, but I'm actually cubing it. So we need to multiply that one more time. So I'm just going to put my 4x squared minus 28x plus 49 up here, and I'm going to multiply this through and see if it'll let me choose another color here. Do a peach, so easier to see. So we'll go ahead and fill out this last one. So this is going to be 8x cubed, negative 28x squared, negative 56x squared, 196x, 98x, and negative 343. So your answer here, we can add our like terms this time because our exponents go in order. So we can add those together, and we can also add these together. So our answer will be 8x cubed minus 84x squared plus 294x minus 343. And that's our answer. Again, I apologize for the messy handwriting. I do have a stylus on its way, so that'll make it a little easier to read. Okay, we've got one more. So number 3, really similar to what we just did before. We just have different numbers now. So f of x is here, and h of x is here. So we're just going to multiply through and then add our like terms together. See if I'll go back to yellow. It's easy to see. All right, so 26x to the 4th, negative 91x cubed, 4x cubed, negative 14x squared, 22x squared, negative 77x, negative 16x, and a positive 56. So I'm just going to add my like terms, or actually I'll just kind of identify like terms first so they're easier to see. So these guys are like terms, they're both x cubed. These are both like terms, they're both x squared. And these are like terms, they're both x's. So I'm going to have 5 terms in my answer. So I'm going to leave the 26x to the 4th alone because it doesn't have any like terms. I'm going to add up my x cubes, so I get negative 87x cubed. Add up my x squares, I get positive 8x squared. Add up my x's, I get a negative 93x. And then my 56 is going to stay behind. So that is my answer for the last one. So if you have any additional questions, please come in and ask me, and I'm happy to go over that with you. And then I do have a retake available now through 2 weeks from now. So we'll stop that on, I believe, the 24th. Oh, that's not right. Today is the 6th. Today is the 4th. So we'll stop that on the 18th. So you have until the 18th to retake this. So again, let me know if you have any questions or want to come in for tutorials. I'm happy to go over it with you. All right, that's it.